I gotta admit, that's the first time I ever played that so flawlessly. I think that's probably, like, as long as I've been playing that structure, I feel like that was the cleanest I've ever made it. I'm glad that you guys were here to share that with me. Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me on today's episode. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. My name is Maleko. So in the past couple weeks where I haven't been uploading any videos, I've been actually practicing a lot with my art. So what I've been doing lately in the past couple weeks is actually one of my friends, a few of my friends back from high school created this comic called Class Rank. And they created characters based off of students that went to the high school. And I started drawing some of those characters. It started with one of the main enemies or the main villains of that comic, and then it kind of sparked from there. There's a lot of characters in this comic, which is great, but again, these are my characters. So for today's video, what I'm gonna be doing is trying to solidify this character I've been trying to design for quite some time. I have this story about these two characters who's based off of me and Pua, and I have a lot of trouble with character designing the costume design. I'm not very good with that. I've been watching a lot of videos and I have some stuff in mind, but I'm reaching out to you guys too today. If you guys can, hit me in the comments down below. During this process, if you guys see anything that would match, because I'm going to describe the character as well, and maybe that can help you guys kind of come up with ideas that you think may work for the character. I'd love to try out different costumes and different ideas. You know, throw them at me, guys. All right, guys, let's get into it. Oh wait, before we start the video, before we get into the whole thing, if you guys find this video informational at all, or it helps you in some way, please hit that like button because it really does help with the channel. And if you want to see more videos just like this, consider hitting that subscribe button. All right, guys, let's get into it. So I kind of already started things off with 3 different sketches that I'll be using today. And one is just your basic stance, one is of him sitting down, and another one is like an action pose. So I figured what we could do is design the standing first, and then once we get somewhat of a design for him here, then we could place it on where he's sitting and standing, because then we'll know kind of how the outfit is. But again, this is just gonna be, I don't know how this is gonna go, but this is gonna be a rough idea. So let's get into it. First thing first, I want to, okay, so for a long time, I've been a very big fan of the Aladdin pants. Ever since Aladdin came out, I was obsessed with how those pants looked, how they were like baggy, but then they came down to that taper. And it had this like, I think the main reason why I loved it is because they had this ninja-esque feel to them. And so a part of me wants that because I like that ninja feel for the pants, nice and light. So my character is, okay, let's talk about his characteristics or personality. What I feel him being like is an adventurer. He's gonna be a climber, so I figure maybe he has some gloves. I don't know, but right now, hold on, let me just get the main body sketched out so that we can see, and then we'll go more into the costume design. I am gonna go with those pants. I'm gonna do a rough, all right, we'll check back in. Okay, so we have somewhat of a rough. So now what I want to do is open up a new layer so I can add clothes. Okay, so for the top design, I love the high collar sweaters. They have, not these ones, but they have, you guys know what I'm talking about. They zip up and they're usually like up to here. I love that idea. I think there's just this like ninja-esque that I'm always going for. So what I was thinking was something that was high collar. Yeah, okay, so I figure he have a hoodie, but it is open. And then inside he'll just have like a, oh no, a moisture wicking shirt like the one I'm wearing right now. Like a workout shirt. So maybe, will it be, oh, okay. Maybe something like, maybe they're cutoffs. Because my character, he is a Islander character, and I want him to have my, somewhat like a design of my tattoo that I have on my arm. If you guys want to see that, if you guys want to see what my tattoo looks like, hit that like button. I'll show it in the next video. Maybe just one arm has the thing, and then this arm is the one, because what I like, kind of like this, one of my sweaters, or yeah, sweaters has this sleeve cuff where you can stick the thumb through it, and I love that idea with all the sweaters. So I wanted to add that somehow into my character, so I think, so he has this, and so here is where something like that. And then it goes along with the hoodie, and then we're gonna make this like a long jacket. Almost like a cape. He's not a superhero, but he is well, I don't want to give the story away just yet. Okay, so, oh man, you know what, that kind of looks kind of nice. I kind of like that design. What I've learned in some of the character design videos and classes that I've been taking is, at the end of the day, you want to make it as simple as possible. In order for them to be memorable, they have to be simple enough to remember. So Ross Draws did a video of that exact thing, where he had a friend and I think his nephew, he drew the character and then had them look at the character, and then he had them try to draw the character from memory. When you get down to it, right, when you really sit down and do a piece for your character, it could be very detailed, but the design that he showed them was more or less on the simple side of his pieces, just to show them what the character looked like. And the friend and the nephew were able to put that back on paper as simple as it was. So trying to keep the shapes as simple as possible and not try to make them too detailed. Okay, so he has the gloves. He has a glove on one side, and then he has the hoodie that has the glove on the other side. I don't know any practicality behind it yet. I just going for the design, but I know that, you know, when it comes to costume design, you want things to make sense when it comes to why is the costume that way? Why is it designed that way? But right now, I'm not too sure. I think along the way, the more I design him, he'll start to have and make more sense what he has with him. But for now, all I know is that he is like a vagabond. He is an outsider. He's like an Aladdin, right? And then he has his sidekick dog, Pua. But how they meet is going to be a very big part of the story, because he's not going to have Pua at first. Okay, so now for the sneakers. What I like sometimes is the sleekness of a sneaker. So I have these sneakers here. Oh man, they're pretty torn, but they're very, when I wear them, they're very lightweight. But I also, as far as design goes, I like when characters have, I'm gonna open up a new layer here, these like high top shoes. I don't know, it just adds something to the design. Okay, so something along those lines of a sneaker, what do you think? Like Dunks, or hang on, let's erase that. Again, I can go for the sleekness of the shoe. And again, this is, to me, this would be the more simpler route. rather than doing the sneaker. But I guess, you know, once you get it down enough, it starts to become easier. I should give myself some knee pads. I feel like, look, I got bad knees. So I feel like there have been these pants that always show up like on my Instagram feed, but they have like knee pads sewn into them. So because he's an adventurer and he's always out doing stuff, that would make sense, you know. The knee pads are sewn into the pants. Right? Maybe he has an elbow pad. I don't know. I'm getting too far. I want to keep it super simple, and I think that, you know, right now I've landed on something that I kind of like. Again, if you guys see something, please let me know in the comments down below. I'd like to know your thoughts. Okay, so this character is that outsider. What he carries on his back is a tripod, but the end of the tripod, the legs make one big blade when they're connected. Because even with tripods, they have these ones where you have the spikes in the legs so they can dig into the ground, but he uses it like a weapon. He's like a futuristic, this is like future post-apocalyptic in a way. So he has that, and then on there he screws on a handle, or he can take it off and put on his camera. Bam. I think that looks pretty good, man. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? I think at this point we can move on to the next phase, which is since we have the design of the costume down, we can move it on to these two pieces. So let's get into that. So if you guys are wondering what I'm using as far as pencil goes, it is just the 6B pencil. I'm using that for the whole session, okay? The whole session is just that 6B pencil. Okay, so I moved over the image of our character over to the left just so that we could see him for reference. So what I'm gonna do here is go ahead and do a more defined sketch of him sitting down. So I will see you guys in a second. You can almost say it's like he's taking a dunk. But we're not gonna have him doing that. Just saying. Okay, I think I got a pretty good idea. Yeah, a pretty good idea. And if you guys are wondering, I didn't use any references for these stances. These are just poses that I remember that are in like my memory bank. So he's gonna be looking like that. I'm gonna draw in his eyes, and usually this is what I do. What I'll do is I'll draw in the eyes. I'll draw in everything, and then if I'm gonna add that hood and all that on, having this will help me map it out, because then I'll know where his eyes are at, his face is at. I don't want to just draw the hood on automatically and not know where anything is at. So this will give me a better idea as far as like placement of the hoodie, because sometimes I have a really hard time with drawing hoods on. I don't know if you guys do too, but that's definitely one of my weaknesses. So we are practicing it here right now. Okay, so now that we have the pose kind of a little bit more defined, let's add that hood. And see, now that he has it zipped up, should he have it zipped up, or should it just be floating, you know? Because if it's floating, that means it's gonna be like this. that? Yeah, maybe it's not zipped up. Maybe he never really zips it up. Maybe he just has it open. What do you think? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Should he ever zip it up? Or should it always just be open? Maybe he just got done climbing or something. Remember guys, it's always good to have a story behind your art, your drawing. Maybe if he's in a pose, what's the reason why he's in that pose? You know, maybe it's something, maybe they just got done with a fight or a battle. You know, maybe that's what this is. Maybe he just got done with a insane battle and he's tired, you know. I'm not saying that that's what the comic or the idea of this story is about. I'm just saying, you know, for your guys' characters, you know, think about those things. What were they doing? 2, 3, 4. In simple terms, that's what my tattoo looks like. He's got his coat, and the coat is long, remember that. So it's gonna like sit all the way out there. Okay, and the pants, again, super simple pants that we just created on our character here. Yeah. I kind of like that. I kind of like that idea so far. Again, hit me in the comments down below. Let me know what you think. I think that the sleeker shoes will probably be the way that I go. Maybe making them more high top shoes rather than low top shoes, but still going with the sleeker look is the route that I'm probably going to take for now. Again, I want your guys' opinion as well. Let me know what you guys think as far as this character goes. Okay, so we have our second sketch. This is of our character sitting down. Our character's name, I believe I was going to name him Mana, as in Mana Art. And Pua. Mana and Pua. If you guys know, if you guys are Islander, or maybe you've been to Hawaii, or have had these, maybe you guys know what it is, but Mana Pua. That's gonna be the name of this fantastic duo. Okay, let's take that away. We're gonna strip away the these lines.
There we go. There we are. What a beauty, mate. What a beauty, mate.
Character may be in some tough times, or you know, like all of us, we all go through tough times, but our character always seems, or this character always seems to find the light in the dark. And so I usually will draw him with a somewhat of a smile, like a smirk. So it's like a very small smile, like this one here, very low. He just minding his business, man. He's passing through. He's a vagabond. He travels the earth, the world, looking for new things to learn, to help people where he can, along with his sidekick, Pua.
Ooh, dude, that looks pretty good, man. I ain't gonna lie. Okay, so we're going on to, so now that we have that established, so we have a sitting position, we have him a regular standing position. Let me put his belt on here. We're not gonna have the tripod there because we're gonna draw it on this next one, but now that we have this one mapped out as well, we are going to move on to the very last piece. Ooh, I kind of like that idea. I have these joggers that tighten up at the end here, so they'd be like this, yeah? And they get tight there, but they sag right there. I kind of like that idea too, the material change. Okay, So now we're gonna take this guy and we're gonna move him back. So now that we have this, we see this guy, he's sitting. Where is that? Okay, and we're going to go on to our very last piece, which is our action shot.
Okay, so same thing here. Now that we have somewhat of a pose, I have him kind of like holding his tripod in a like I'm gonna beat you manner, right? So now that we have that idea, again, like we have this costume down and all that, I am going to do a cleaner sketch of him in this position, and I will check back with you guys in 1 second. Remember, guys, be nice and loose in the first sketch. You know what you want. Be nice and loose, get the sketch out there, and then you can finally detail afterwards. Have those phases. You want those phases. You know what I realize? Sorry guys, I'm like a freaking dog, but what I realize is that the character that I'm drawing has highly influences from Gambit. And Gambit was my favorite X-Men, and I'm saddened that they don't do more of Gambit or show more of him. They've tried to put him in some Wolverine. I think it was like the Wolverine movie. Was it the Wolverine movie? I think so. One of the Wolverine movies, they tried to bring Gambit in there, and he was played by the guy that played, he was in Battleship. He was also in another Disney movie that I really, really loved, where he can jump really high. I can't remember the name of the movie, but it was such a good, I'm not gonna remember it. But there's a lot of influence in Gambit in my character, which, you know, I'm fine with, because again, Gambit was my favorite character, man. So the not the high collar, but the trench coat looking jacket that he has on, I realized that's where I was like, oh shoot, it's kind of like that. And then he doesn't have a staff, but he has the tripod. I know you guys are probably thinking, a tripod. Why does the character have a tripod? I know. But you know what? I'm also a photographer, videographer, so I think I've always planned somewhere in the future that if I do create a character, he's gotta have his tripod.
So he's gonna have the handle here. So he wields it like a sword. Staff sword. Something more along. No. It's gotta move over. There. Okay. Yeah. Sick. Okay, now we're going on to the pants. If you guys don't know, fun fact, I used to hate, not hate, but I just never drew lower halves of bodies. It was something that I had trouble with when I got back into my art, like in my high school years. My freshman year, I remember I started drawing again. I had taken a break from it when I was in middle school because I was doing more like graffiti stuff. But I remember having so much trouble with lower halves that I would just always draw like this. Like this is all you would see. And every time, even if I would draw like their faces, they would never ever be like this or anything like that. It would always be flat, and then their eyes would always be like this. Either forward, side, or side.
I really wish I still had that freaking sketchbook, man, because I remember someone pointing that out to me one time. They're like, how come all your characters are always like facing forward? Or I can't remember what they said, but I just remember hearing that, and it changed something in me. Like I wanted to change something. I wanted to be more dynamic, because that's when I went to go ask my buddy about poses. Because again, like I didn't really understand poses at the time. I'm still learning myself now, but I have a better understanding, that's for sure. And bam, there we go. Now he's in his action pose. He's ready for battle. Whatever the trouble is that's in front of him, he is ready for it, y'all. He ain't gonna let nothing pass him or affect or hurt Pua, but also at the same time, Pua would never let anything do the same to him. So this is Mana. 1/2 to Mana Pua. So there you have it, guys. I feel like this is further than I've ever gotten when it comes to creating a character. I do want to solidify this character because I want to start building that comic or series around this. I feel like it's gonna be so much fun. It's filled with a lot of adventure. I have so many ideas for stories, and I can't wait to fill you guys in. Yeah. I wanna hear what you guys have to say as far as character design goes. If you guys think it's good, we'll go with it. If not, let me know in the comments down below, and I'll try to add those things. And if you guys are creating your own character as well and you drew with me, I would love to see what you guys designed so far. Maybe I can help you design your character too. Other than that, I want to thank you guys so much for joining me on this episode. It's been so much fun getting this sketch down. Hopefully you guys learned something from that. As far as maybe sketching goes, remember that you have different layers that you're going to go through. This is not even the finished layer. This is more of like the second, third layer, which it's detailed in some way, but remember I could still add some color, really fine tune the lines and all that. But the very first part of it is those rough sketch lines so that you can just play around, mess around. Sometimes the messy lines will help you see something that you probably didn't see before, and can totally change the feel of the drawing. It's happened to me many, many times. So be open, guys. Don't have too much of a strong expectation of what's gonna happen with the drawing, and just have fun with it. All right, you guys. If you guys made it all the way to the end of the video, you already know what you have to do. Please hit that like button, because it really does help out the channel. And if you guys want to see more content like this, consider hitting that subscribe button. All right, you guys. What is one thing that you're having trouble with when it comes to your drawing? All right, you guys, sit on that. Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. I love and appreciate each and every one of you guys. Peace and a double grease.